Morphternoon folks, Mark here and welcome to the sofa. Nice chill one this time. I'm going to paint this action man of a miniature, Dormammu from Marvel Crisis Protocol. So, why not join me at the painting table and let's get started. I built him ages ago, and there are only a few minor gaps to fill. I did a fairly decent job of cleaning and assembling him, apparently. Usually, I'd pin his feet ready for a painting handle. But this is how he fits on my biggest one. Yeah. He got stuck on a scrap of wood instead. Serves him right. Being part of the dark dimension...
The dark dimension.
Dormammu is dark, ominous, and menacing. Black with red details is the obvious choice. So here's the colour palette I chose. The lightest paint was the yellow, so the others got white mixed in to try and even out the values. And yes, that's cling film, the quickest and dirtiest of masking materials. Worked my way through the colours, keeping the fire on each hand single colour and putting the pink around the face. Orange and purple were just to kind of fill the gaps. Flawless camera work, as always. Also, didn't do a proper job cleaning him up, it turns out. Here we are though, a brightly coloured lump. All that's left is to salvage something from this. The plan, if I can misuse that word again, started with adding black to the colours and sketching out most of the armour in that. Followed by actual black to try for an internal glow look. His chest has more undercolour showing, which should make it feel brighter. I merrily did his thighs the same way, before realising everything was blurring together. Went a lot gentler with the black on his left arm, to see if that helped break it up. Except his hand, which was basically all black, to contrast with the bright blue flame. I'm paying attention to stroke direction on the fingers too. So proud of past me. He's usually an idiot. Unfortunately, I liked this a lot better, so I then had to make the knees match. And we all know how much fun painting pale colours over black is. Probably doesn't need more explanation, so just enjoy the feat, I guess? Which puts us dangerously in sight of the finish line. Only two big unpainted areas now, the face and the butt cape thing. That has to have an actual name, right? Anyway, I couldn't really do anything colourful with it, so I went with black. Solid black, with just enough highlights to give it shape. Didn't want it to add to the existing rainbow chaos. Then came the key part, his head. Or at least the fireball with a face. This was taxing my brain to figure out the flame shapes. Yep, that would do it. Painting under the influence of insulin. Okay, back to it. Pink to purple flames for that saturation, with plenty of black around the edges to get a good contrast. Painted his face black too, called him done, and then noticed his shoulder pads were still grey. Every time. Quickly sorted, and onto the base. I did want this to match the rest of my MCP stuff, which after a quick base coating meant a spot of colour matching. Some highlights for around those flaming tootsies. And while I was down at base level, why not do a few others? Enough futzing. Let's get to the glue. Scraping back the paint for a better bond, of course. Which I still didn't trust. Hence the holes in the base. This way, I knew I could drill up into his feet without any accidents. Looking good, except for a big old gap under his heel. Easily solved with green stuff, and more futzing. One last touch, the glow across those highlights. I did try going down to dark red, but that looked awful. Leaving a tiny bit of beige highlight at the edges was much more pleasing. No idea why. Which meant I could throw him under the airbrush for sealing and matting down. There was something unsatisfying about his face though. It looked kind of flat, except when the light caught it from above. I could highlight it, but that would lose contrast. The only other choice was to shade it, but how do you shade matte black? With gloss, because physics. Only that would probably look like I did a sloppy matte job. Emergency backup plan then. Black 3.0. It's matte, it's definitely more black. And there we go. I present to you Crystal of the... Oh, wait, hang on, wrong one. There we... Oh. He really is stupidly big, isn't he? There. Dormammu of the Rainbow Dimension. The black on black face is kind of fun. It has shape, lots of contrast, although his blue ball kind of distracts from it. I was worried about how this was turning out for most of the project, honestly. This was a long walk through the Valley of the Shadow of Suck. Came together at the end though, I think. How close to the end? Let me know. And maybe I'll see you next time.